We're going to have two really wonderful sessions for you as a part of this lunch plenary. First, we're going to have an interview with Amina Omanic and Kelli Appel from Illinois State University, and they're going to be holding a conversation about college and career pathway endorsements and giving a really real perspective on their experiences as a student who received the endorsement and a faculty administrator who helped give out the endorsement. And then we're going to be bringing up our Student Advisory Council, who you all saw stand up earlier today. These are students that have come from all across the state to share their perspectives with you all on college and career programming and the kind of future that they want to see and how you all in the room can help them get there. So the first thing that we'll be doing, like I mentioned, is this interview with Amina and Kelli. Amina received a scholarship for receiving the College and Career Pathway Endorsement in Education, and she's now a freshman at Illinois State University majoring in Earth and Space Science Education, and she wants to be a middle school teacher. Yeah. And Kelli Appel is the Director of Recruitment and Retention and College of Education at Illinois State University in the department that awarded Amina her scholarship for getting the endorsement. Kelli also has an MS in Special Education and has worked at Illinois State University for over 25 years, helping people with teacher certifications and helping with CTE programming across the region. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Amina and Kelli. Well, we've got lots of questions for you all today. Like I mentioned, we're here to hear about y'all's experiences, Amina, with you receiving the endorsement, Kelli, and you being able to help provide the endorsement scholarship. I'm going to start out with you, Kelli. Could you please start out by telling us a little bit more about your role at the college and a little bit about the scholarship that y'all provide for the students who received an endorsement?
Sure. So I'm the Director of Recruitment and Retention in the College of Education, and really that's pretty straightforward. Just a lot of work on supporting students as they consider ISU, consider teaching, and supporting them when they're at ISU as well, and working on a lot of our unique initiatives for enrollment in teacher education. So I really wanted to start this scholarship. This is, Amina was our first recipient, and because I see such a strong foundation being created by the College and Career Pathway endorsement holders. And so I worked with some of our foundation funds to carve out a scholarship for an incoming freshman in teacher education who is earning the endorsement in order to be eligible. So we added that into our scholarship application process. Last year was the first year we awarded a $4,000 scholarship, and Amina was the recipient. And yeah. So I advertise the possibility through our Future Teacher Conference. We have it on our website. I'm still looking for more ways to promote that out there as well.
That's so wonderful to hear. I know you're mentioning that you wanted to be able to provide this opportunity to bring in more students and to be able to ease the pathway for them. Could you tell us a little bit more? You mentioned, setting aside certain funds, but could you go into a little bit more of the details of why you made this available to college and career pathway endorsement students and how you established the scholarship, how you actually carved out the way to be able to do that?
So again, really just that emphasis on we want to have those endorsement holders choose us for their teacher education preparation. I mean, we see them having that workplace experience. That's the component being so valuable. I can talk more about that in a bit as well. But we see them coming in asking completely different questions when they come to visit and when they talk with me, for example. And so we're really excited about that level of preparation and the college readiness that they're bringing in as well. And so I worked with our faculty and our dean to propose this opportunity, explain to them a little bit more of what's involved in the endorsement and why this could be a good opportunity both for our university, but also to reward a student like Amina.
Yeah, Amina, we're so excited to hear about your pathway to getting here. Could you tell us a little bit more about the college and career pathway you engaged in when you were in high school?
Yeah, I was in the education endorsement, and that was through Prospect High School from D214, if anyone out there is from D214.
We have some folks in the room.
Hopefully. Yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome. And how did you hear about the endorsement while you were in high school?
I didn't know anything about the endorsement until I got an email, and then people came into my classroom, my education classroom, and then gave me the little certificate for my endorsement. So I had no idea. I just knew I was typing out an essay, and I just submitted it through the ISU thing, and then I got an email from Kelli, and that was about it. I mean, yeah.
I mean, what a surprise. I think we have a photo actually to show of this surprise on one of the screens over here. And if Kelli, I know you want to talk a little bit more about that experience.
Yeah, so we have been working with our current students to go back and talk to education pathways. And we know students love to hear from current college students. And so we had a couple students going back to Amina's high school, so it worked out perfectly for them to be able to award the scholarship certificate to Amina. So that was a beautiful kind of bow on the process.
What a wonderful surprise to have. Well, how did you feel when they came into your classroom with this certificate?
Pretty great. Who doesn't want money? But so yeah, thank you. So I mean, I knew these girls previously too because they went to my high school, and we had some education classes together because my district has this huge program for them. Put so much money down, and I really do see a huge benefit from it. And basically they came in and then handed me the certificate. I was like, oh wow, thank you.
I know, look at that joy. We love to see it. I'm so happy such a beautiful, celebration of your accomplishments could come together. Why did you decide on doing that pathway in the first place, without knowing this award was coming? What made you want to be a part of the process?
Well, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. So my counselor put me in a class, child psychology class that was heavily educational based because I wanted to be a child psychiatrist before. And then I went into this class and I really fell in love with the ideas of just teaching. And I kept taking the classes. I'm like, there's no harm in it. I mean, I could just keep taking it until, I went into the actual classrooms, and then I fell absolutely in love with it. I worked with 7th grade science and 8th grade science, and then I worked with kindergarten, and it was just an absolute joy.
Yeah, and I'm glad it was such a joy because I know there's also a lot of scheduling that has to be done to make sure that you can engage in those opportunities that you're saying you love so much. So could you tell me a little bit more about how you prepared to engage in that experience, a little bit about your learning plan and the scheduling that you had to do to be able to have that time with the students that you loved?
It was insane. Okay. I'm being so brutally honest right now, but...
This is a place for honesty. We're all here for it, right, guys?
I'm being honest. I decided to take the hardest route ever my senior year. Don't do it. I decided to take 3 AP science classes, math classes. I was in AP Stats, I was in AP Chem, and AP Environmental Science. And on top of all... Thank you, bitch. I'm glad I'm glad I know I'm not that crazy. Other people can respond to this. And but on top of all these other dual credit classes, so it was just a lot of work on top of everything. And in my education classes, I had to come up with, specifically because I was working with science, I would have to come up with labs, and so many labs. And I loved it, but working with all the kids, and it was a lot of work. Going into the teaching stuff, and you have to really be in a mindset and not show your students that you're stressed out or anything. And going into it was really hard. I'd have to do so many lesson plans and stuff, and especially going into with the kindergartners, that was a huge jump from 8th grade to kindergarten. I loved it, I really did, but it was a huge jump. So scheduling was really packed, especially on top of with track, and that would be from 3 to 7. Insane amount of stuff. So I was able to do it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge procrastinator, so I don't really know how I did it. It worked out, it really did, but I am surprised.
I mean, it sounds like you had to be really, despite saying that you were a procrastinator, it sounds like you really had to be on top of what you were doing. Do you think it really just comes down to like having been driven yourself and getting yourself to schedule those courses? Or do you think that other students are able to kind of have the same opportunities as you if they put their mind to it?
If I can do it, so can you. Trust me. You can do it. I knew I wanted to be a science teacher and going into science because I've loved science since I was a little girl. And I mean, I took all the AP science classes to get the credit, so my college life is a little easier. And if I know that I actually do like it. And I mean, I ended up really liking it, so that's why I decided to pursue it. But it was all worth it at the end. All that hard work was so worth it.
Oh, it's really great to hear that you feel like all the experiences have been worth it. You've talked a lot about what you felt like were challenges, particularly with the scheduling and having to do so much while you were in high school. What parts of it felt easier to accomplish? What were your favorite parts of it?
The students were my favorite thing ever. I absolutely love working with the students. They are my highlight. They are what get me through college, knowing that at the end of this, I'm going to have the diploma in my hand and I get to have my own classroom. And I get to work with these students and build relationships with them and see them grow as individuals throughout the year. I absolutely love doing that, seeing kids I worked one-on-one with and seeing them go from maybe a shyer kid, maybe a kid that just didn't like science and wasn't comfortable enough learning science, and then I see them grow and actually genuinely like it. And even with the kindergartners, it was really hard at first. If any of you guys have worked with little ones, it is not easy. But it is so much fun. Like, I don't know if I should cry or if I should laugh sometimes. But yeah. Going in there, I was just like, some of them just come up to me and say random things. I'm like, okay, yeah. You just have to nod your head sometimes, just agree with them. You don't know what they're saying. That was a very hard part, is going from the 8th grade to the kindergarten. It put me in a weird spot. I was just like, oh my gosh, I was just teaching middle school. I was getting bullied, and now they want to hug me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
It sounds like there are some folks familiar with middle school education.
Oh, yeah.
And kindergarten.
Yeah, and kindergarten, because they're cuties, but it was definitely hard. But just seeing the students and getting excited to see me every single day, and being able to just get to know them as individuals and get to know who they are, that was the highlight. Every single day, I look forward to it every single day. I'm like, I get to see my students. I'm so excited.
That's really touching to hear that you really grew this love for the field that you want to go into, and that really has helped motivate you to continue, pursuing these courses and pursuing this career path. Do you feel like there were other things that you gained through this experience of getting the pathway, skills that you gained beyond the motivation and this wonderful endorsement opportunity? Do you feel like there are skills that you got through that, through those experiences with those younger students that are going to carry you through your career path and your college schooling?
Definitely patience. I mean, I'd say I'm a pretty patient person, but you gain some patience when you work with middle schoolers and kindergartners. Like, that's like the worst. Like, when you're talking patience-wise, like, you got to be really patient, and that helps me out so much. Like, talking with new people and interacting with people in college now, like, that, just being able to just have patience in general for people. And I mean, since I took so many dual credit classes and AP classes, and I have so much college credit as a freshman, I have so much wiggle room in my schedule now. It is so nice. I'm not stressed out whatsoever about like my scheduling, because I could take an extra class if I really wanted to, if I was just curious to see how it is, because I have so much wiggle room. And like, to the point I was even able to change majors without even having to worry about it. So yeah, it was pretty great.
That is seriously huge, to feel like you have the room in your schedule to be able to explore different facets of the career that you're interested in. That's
Pick
really
up
wonderful.
Additional endorsements.
Oh yeah, the money. Pretty great. That can I add that on?
And more endorsements.
More endorsements, more money. Getting to know amazing other teacher people who have the same experiences as me. I just love getting to know people and other people that have similar experiences to me, and getting to work with students. And It's also just a huge booster in general. Going into freshman year of college, you're just taking gen eds. Like, you're in this class, you're like, I don't know why I'm taking this, but my advisor told me to, so I'm taking it, and it has nothing to do with what you're gonna actually do. So, and there's no like actual teaching for like the first like 1.5, 2 years, I'm pretty sure. And so people go into thinking they want to be a teacher, and then they go through their first year and they're like, but I'm not doing anything, so I'm just going to change my major now. They don't know that they actually like teaching because they haven't actually done it. So that was a huge thing with the endorsements and the pathways in school. They help you figure out what you actually want to do and what you don't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's so important. Again, like you mentioned, that what you don't want to do as well, just being able to get that awareness of what you want. Kelli, now that you're actively working with students that are, engaging in this endorsement, you were mentioning earlier, and kind of touching on what Amina has been saying, that you felt like students with the endorsement that had these experiences and already getting some of the, what do I like to do, what do I not like to do out of the way was hugely impactful, and that you wanted to validate some of those experiences. Do you still feel like that's true? What's your impression now of these students coming in?
Yes, absolutely. There's a few things that really connected with what Amina has already said, but I mean, knowing what areas of teaching, and then related to that too. So in the past, it's been so common to see so many students who wanted early childhood and elementary, and because that's what they were most familiar with, or any of their high school experiences related to education were focused on. And now having strong work internship experiences in different, like how Amina got to go into science in the middle school. Science is such a shortage area, and that opened the door for someone. And I talk a lot to schools about the importance of having special education exposure, since it's such a large shortage area. So things that people haven't realized, maybe they do know they want to be a teacher, but they didn't know there were all these different areas they could consider. And so I see that being real strength to it. I mentioned the dual credit, that just like you're talking about, that does allow students to add additional endorsement areas and still graduate in that 4-year time span, which is definitely very beneficial. And then I think listening to your passion is so great. And to your point that freshman year does include more time in some of those content area courses and things. And so you already have your why. You can get through that because you know your why, as far as why you want to teach and why you're here. And so that does help you, I think, persevere in the preparation and in the career. So those are some great benefits we really do see across the students.
It's really wonderful that it seems, Kelli, that you've just gained so much experience in working with students from many different backgrounds and being able to validate different experiences that they've come in with. You've had so much experience in working with, people that are building into this teacher role, and now you have this experience in offering this endorsement and trying a different way of validating student experiences as they, head into your department at school. With all of that experience that you have, across this many years of helping and building teachers, and now these years in building out this scholarship and continuing to work with students that are now going through pathways, what is one takeaway that you want to share with our audience from everything that you've learned about being able to provide this endorsement and this scholarship and work with students that are getting this pathway experience before they head into your program?
Well, really just kind of a couple things. I mean, to higher ed out there, I do think the more we can all offer an incentive to students, definitely encourage that. I know that I wish we could do more than just one scholarship, that, we continue to look at how else we can support students with that, but we are always looking at that. And just to high schools out there, I would say, our faculty, we've had conversations about we might be able to even offer more opportunities as access to the college and career pathway endorsement expands, right? Because we definitely do want to be sure that we're supporting something that all students in Illinois can have access to. So the more that becomes available to students, there's some real benefits to that, clearly. And then just, I think ISU's open. I'm very open working with whether it's other institutions, whether it's with high schools, regionally. I do think this is just such a great group of students, and they're getting such great experiences in your high schools. What else could we work together to create some very career or some tailored experiences kind of regionally that's specifically for students in the pipeline for the endorsement? It'd be great to even think outside the box and come up with some exciting opportunities while they're still in high school to work together on.
Absolutely. And I know you're already thinking outside the box and thinking about what you can do. And I know there are lots of great sessions here today that hopefully y'all have gotten to engage in those kinds of conversations. Amina, ending on you now, what is one big takeaway from you from our student perspective of somebody that has gotten to actually experience this pathway, got this endorsement, got a scholarship for it? What is one thing that you'd like to share with our audience today, one major takeaway?
Yeah, so personally, the education classes weren't just only hands-on. We got to learn really in-depth information about the importance of diversity in the classroom. And I grew up in a very predominantly white neighborhood, and all my teachers were also white. I'm Hispanic, so it was just I would have loved having a teacher that looked just like me. And there's not a lot of I feel like a lot of male teachers. There's not a lot of them, and there's also, especially in the early, like elementary and in middle school, there really aren't that many. And I'm sure there will be a lot of guys that would appreciate, and boy students would appreciate having a male teacher. And also just POC in general, people of color. Like I grew up, I would have loved having a teacher like that. I mean, when I worked in the classrooms, I saw the students that looked like me, that wanted to get to know me, and that appreciated that I was there. And the endorsements and the classes that I took, that allowed a whole gateway to open for the people who didn't really think about it. Didn't really think about teaching. And a lot of my fellow classmates were people of color, and really dove right in and got into teaching. And I've heard so many amazing stories from them as well. And my 100% main takeaway is the fact that we really do need to push these pathways everywhere across Illinois, so then every single person can get an idea of what they want to do, so we have more diversity in classrooms and in other workforces too, so students can learn better and people can pursue what they really want to do. And because personally, without my pathway, I don't think I would not be here, and I don't even think I would have been a teacher wanting to be a teacher. So I think the endorsements and the pathways are just an amazing way of getting people on board to learn what they like and what they don't like. So
Thank you, Amina. And what a beautiful wrap up to our session here today, to really think about how can we continue to increase access for those that are furthest from opportunity, continue to bring awareness to people about the different kinds of jobs that the career paths that they can take, and the different kinds of lifestyles that they can have, continue to help our students to know what they do and don't like, and continue to validate the hard work that so many people here in the room are doing to help continue to build out these pathways and continue to improve opportunities and access to them. Amina, we all wish you the best of luck as you go on with your pathway forwards. I know we're all cheering you on.
Thank you.
And Kelli, thank you for all that you do. Please give a big round of applause to Kelli and Amina. I know we're all really excited to hear from our students, our wonderful students here on stage with us today, and I'm going to leave it to them for the rest of this time. I really don't want to be doing any more talking. We want to hear from them. But I just wanted to note that a big role of these students is to be bringing their perspectives from their different regions across the state and helping us form a more holistic idea of what it is that students need, better understanding how our initiatives in these network communities are being received and what we can do to continue to improve them moving forward. So to first start out, to just better understand who's on the stage here with us today and what they're engaging in, I'm just going to have them go down the line and share their name, high school, and what college and career programming they're engaging in.
Hi, my name is Rowan Smith. I attend Moline Senior High School in Moline, and I have been heavily a part of our business career pathways in my school.
My name is Annah Stevenson. I'm a senior at Evanston Township High School, and I've participated in a lot of the workshops surrounding scholarships and financial aid, and also college in general, that the College and Career Services Office provides at my school.
My name is Ethyn Bradley. I'm a senior at Vienna High School in Southern Illinois, and some of the college and career pathway programming that I have taken a part of is my Certified Nursing Assistant class, Health Occupation Students of America, and my education class.
Hi, my name is Kendyl Sparks. I also attend Vienna High School in Southern Illinois. And some of the career programming that I've experienced is with our education class, where we've got some hands-on learning, and it actually has provided me to be able to get my education endorsement when I graduate. And we've also just had some job and career fairs to just help prepare us for the future.
Hello, everyone. My name is Massillon Boyd Jr. I'm a senior at Aurora High School in District 129. I'm currently a part of the Health Science Academy in my school, and similar to Ethyn, I'm a part of HOSA, Future Health Professionals.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jose Vences. I'm a senior at North Chicago Community High School, and some programming I've been involved in is being a part of the Schuler Scholar Program before, and also attending law and lit classes from Brown University.
So, Jose, I actually have the first question for you. How do you think engaging in college and career opportunities while in high school could help you in your future education or career?
I think that programming allows a lot of opportunities for students. First off, it can help a student decide whether or not they want to, attend a four-year university, or if they want to join the workforce, or if they want to enlist in the military. And if they do want to pursue that four-year education, it'll help them decide what they want to pursue, so that they're not making that decision while they're in their college and changing majors like at the flick of a light switch.
That's really important, Jose. Rowan, are there any challenges or barriers you feel might make it harder to pursue college and career pathways at your school?
Actually, so I've had quite a bit of experience with this question and some of the data I have worked with, but for my school mainly, our biggest issues are lack of information and lack of awareness towards our CTE pathways, as well as scheduling issues. I'm in a rather large-sized high school, 2,500. We have 3 floors and lots of teachers. And so with lots of students, it's hard to get into every class you want, or just to be able to make your classes work. I am what we call an AP packer at my school. I take a lot of AP classes and honors classes, but when I want to take my career classes, I have to sacrifice another class. This year I had to sacrifice AP Psych to take a career class because it just doesn't work out with my schedule. And even for those students who don't have the same issue, sometimes it's just we don't know where the information is and we don't know how to get it, which means we have to work on finding a way to better connect our students to the information.
Yeah, Rowan, I completely agree. The lack of communication and information, it can make it very hard for students to get the help that they need when transferring into college. So, Kendyl, I have the next question for you. So what kind of support would help you most when engaging in college and career programming?
So I actually think that our school does an amazing job with preparing us for college as an overall whole. Some of the things that our school has been just great at doing is we've had some one-on-one mentorship. We've had the guidance counselors talk to us personally and just help us prepare for our future goals. I came in my freshman year thinking I wanted to be a forensic meteorologist, and now I want to be a speech pathologist in a school system. So completely different. And so definitely having that one-on-one guidance has helped me to just have those opportunities and that experience. And then I think some of the other things that have been great is our counselors have helped us to just be prepared for do some mock interviews, like to prepare us for job shadowing. And we've been able to go straight into schools, into whatever desired field we want to do, and have that preparedness for job shadowing. I think something that would be great to add could be just having one-on-one meetings with other students who want to connect with other people in that same desired field. And I think just talking to those students and seeing what they got from their job shadowing or what they'd like to gain from the future, I think that could just be really essential.
Yeah, Kendall, I'm glad to hear that you gained a lot of amazing opportunities and how it helped you develop what you want to do now. But my question for you, Ethyn, is how can schools or colleges make the process of engaging in college and career programs or pathways clearer or more accessible?
Yeah, so schools can improve accessibility by simply creating more personalized guidance. I am fortunate enough to come from a school where we have several guidance counselors and several career coaches to help all the students make sure that they know what they want to do whenever they go to college. And rather than limiting students to only a few common career paths, they can allow students to get these hands-on workshops, college fairs, and college days where they get to meet with university representatives in trade schools. And this helps students really know what they want to do after high school, but also find something that they can personally relate with and that they find interesting.
I think that's great. I really like the aspect of trade schools because there are many students who may not want to go the conventional route of a four-year college, and having those opportunities to just observe places so that you may end up wanting to go to a trade school. I find that really important. Mass, what would make you more excited or motivated to pursue career and technical education opportunities at your school?
I would say, first of all, this is a very important question because as we continue the fight to increase CTE prevalence in all schools in Illinois, we want to focus on how we can make students interested and how we can motivate them to get involved. So for me, the thing that would be most motivating for me is certifications. Having the opportunity to gain hands-on experience in training in the field that I want to pursue, which is medicine, would be something that is very valuable to me and something that is currently valuable. As I've been taking CTE courses for over the past 4 years, and I've now reached the CNA program, which is the capstone course, I have the opportunity to gain a certification at the completion of that course. So it provides me with not only benefits for college, but in the career sense as well, because it provides me with a way to show how active I've been during my school years and put something on my application, and it also gives me a gateway into my career pathway. It allows me to walk into any professional setting in Illinois and be like, hey, I have a certification that says I'm a certified nursing assistant and I can help you in a hospital, assisted living facility, or a nursing home setting even. So I feel like that is the most motivating part of that for me. So.
Yeah, Mass, I'm really glad that you highlighted the importance of certifications and how that even helped you in your high school career, and you plan on using that after high school. But Anna, what concerns, if any, do you have about engaging in college and career programming?
I think a huge concern for me is the people that offer these resources at our schools having bias or a lack of perspective. This can be for a student's identity, racial or through gender, but also just having a lack of awareness as to what a student is capable of or is not capable of, because that means you're providing incorrect resources that do not fit their personality or their skill set, and you're not being intentional or purposeful in how you are interacting with these students. So I think it's really important that for those of you who do provide college and career pathway resources, that you are investing in your students, like our keynote speaker mentioned earlier, making sure you're pouring into your students in a purposeful way. That way, everyone can be successful. So being aware of if a student wants to go through to a trade, or if a student does want to pursue a 2 or 4 year college, making sure that you understand that students' capabilities is really important.
Yeah, snaps for that. I really appreciate your perspective on that and really mentioning what Dr. Del Polar said. It's really impactful and it shows how much you care about this message. So thank you. So Ethyn, what benefits would make the endorsement most valuable to you personally while you're still in high school?
So endorsements demonstrate the amount of how dedicated someone is to their field. And I have taken that dedication and it has shown me what my strengths are, and it has really helped me focus on my strengths. So even after high school, endorsements can help students with college scholarship applications, and it can even open up job opportunities. And awarding scholarships to students based on their endorsement completion can also be helpful to students, but also make sure that students feel like what they're doing is actually coming back to them in a helpful way.
It's really great to hear all about y'all's high school experiences and the things that you really did like, the things that are helping you grow, the things that you feel like are getting validated, and thinking about, how you're building your dedication, how you're building your skill set, and thinking towards the future. All of these students right here on the stage are all class of 2025. And so as we speak of the future, yeah, let's get a round of applause for that, actually. So, we've heard a lot from them about their high school experiences today, but now as we start thinking about how that's shaping your future, I'd love to ask each one of you to go around and tell me a little bit more about how you feel like your high school experiences has helped you determine what you're doing next.
I think the biggest thing for me coming from my high school was community. I am a very involved person. I'm involved with several clubs, and even outside of school, I'm involved in my community. But the people that have uplifted me and impacted me have definitely helped shape what I want to do. I mentioned earlier I'm heavily involved in our business program, and it was actually my parents that encouraged me to take Intro to Business the first time, and it pushed me towards wanting to take more classes and follow that career path, which is where I eventually found accounting. And my teacher has been a great support in encouraging me to really get involved in that class and consider what you can do with that in that future, as well as the impact of the other clubs I'm in have encouraged my communication skills and my writing skills, and really helped me become a well-rounded person, which has contributed to what I do. And I don't know what I want to do. I thought going into high school, like if everybody does, we always I'm going to be a something at your freshman year, and by the end of it, you're just like, well, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. I thought I was going to follow my sister with poli-sci, and now I'm on the opposite end with accounting. And I just, my high school experience and the people that I have been surrounded by have really helped me figure out what I want to do.
I know that if I didn't go to my College and Career Services office and learn about AmeriCorps, I wouldn't be doing anything that I'm doing right now. There I learned about the AmeriCorps program, so now I am an AmeriCorps Youth Serve member for Youth and Opportunity United, so I work with kids in after-school programs, and we focus on STEM, education, tutoring, and providing resources for low-income students in Evanston. So I know I really enjoy working with youth, and I will be majoring in human ecology, and I'll be pursuing a PhD in youth development. And I'm really excited to do that because I would not be the person I am today, just like you all are, without teaching or interacting with youth. So I know that's definitely what I'll be doing next.
So my high school experience has definitely helped me shape what I want to do after high school, which is healthcare. My certified nursing assistant class has helped me just recognize my love for healthcare in general, just the fact of taking care of people. My HOSA club has helped me see all of the different options that there are within healthcare, not just nursing or not just like pharmacy or being a doctor. There's stuff, there's everywhere. It takes a whole team just to take care of one person. And seeing that, it really helps people realize what kind of opportunities there are. And my education class has opened my eyes to the possibility of maybe even teaching healthcare. And because of all these different resources, I've realized that I want to actually become a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So
my high school experience has really helped to shape me in a variety of ways. I think that our school is very small. We only have like 300 kids in total. And so it is very much like that community aspect, and you get to talk with just your student or your teachers and just get that experience. And I think for me, one of the main things was I am part of that education class, and my mom's a teacher and my sister's now a teacher. And so I've always just loved that field, but I knew that I wasn't wanting to take that route exactly, but I still loved working with children and things like that. So then when I discovered that speech pathology is something that you can still go into the school system and observe, it just expanded so much for me. So for the past 2 years, I've gotten the chance to observe with our grade school speech language pathologist through our education class. And it's just helped me to explore colleges and hear her experience, and just help me to see what I want to do for the future. And just these opportunities and getting to talk with all these different people have really helped to shape that future for me.
So my overarching goal is to become a cardiothoracic surgeon. And I just want to speak from the heart a little bit, no pun intended, speak from the heart, about how the community of people that I found within the CTE classes I've taken has really shaped my future. I've found so many similarities within myself and my peers, and I've been able to speak with my advisors and my teachers of my CTE courses about how to navigate the medical profession, about all the intricacies, about the hardships and the difficulties that you might face and how you can overcome those with a community. So I would say that being able to not only gain knowledge by taking CTE courses, but by really investing in engrossing myself within the community that it holds within it, has really shaped my future as a whole, really. Because I wouldn't be here without the classes that I've taken, without the organizations that I've been a part of, like HOSA, like what Ethyn said. If I wasn't a part of these organizations and I didn't have these opportunities that CTE has provided me, I wouldn't even be on this stage, you know? So it's really shaped my future as a whole, my outlook as a human being, and my career goals. So, yeah.
So to start off, if high school taught me one thing, is that change is inevitable. I remember being a freshman in high school, like wanting to be an architect and so into architecture, wanted to study abroad in Europe and study all the architecture around the world, for it to just become a hobby. I got bored of it, so went into my sophomore year, wanted to become maybe a lawyer now, took that law and lit class. Law and lit is extremely boring, so I said, absolutely not. I'm not gonna spend my entire days just, working with clients and all that, and law school was just a long journey. So now I'm a junior. Maybe looking into going into working with kids in somehow or in some capacity. My PE teacher gets me into refereeing boys volleyball and girls volleyball. They're middle schoolers and they're ruthless, and when they're competitive, they tend to throw insults sometimes. I learned I do not have patience for kids, especially not younger ones. So now I'm in my senior year. I'm working at my full-time job in a restaurant, and one of my coworkers brings up that his brother-in-law is a civil engineer. I get to get in contact with him. He talks to me. He talks your ear off. He loves his job, and he can't talk about anything else. And that's kind of what drove me into wanting to become a civil engineer. Just finding someone who kind of shared the same kind of passion with me and finding something that I was actually interested in. So I'd say that my high school career has definitely got me to where I want to be and what I want to do after high school.
Well, I'd just like to thank my peers here. They're all amazing people. We got to know each other over these past few weeks and months, and I just want to thank you for all the answers that you've given and for being so open and honest about how you feel and about how college and preparation has been and how high school has been as a whole. I just want to extend an olive branch out to you all. If you guys want to hear more about college and career pathway endorsements and career and technical education from the perspective of students and surveys, please come to our mine and Rowan's presentation at 2:15 in the humanities room right across the hall. But other than that, thank you for being such a great audience.
Thank you all for taking your time to listen. I hope that you enjoy hearing from our students as much as we do. And really importantly, I hope that the things that you hear from them today not only rejuvenate you and bring you back to your purpose in this work and help you move forwards with the motivation of knowing that this means so much to our students, but also gives you ideas to continue to push yourselves, to grow and bring in innovative practices, continue to try and meet your students' needs. If there's something that you heard from our students here today, and there's something that you can do to continue to improve the lives of the students that you work with, I hope that you take it with you, or that you at the very least go back and talk to somebody that might be able to help and improve on that practice that you learned about today. Our students will be up here at the front of the room after this session. If you'd like to say a quick hello to them, they'll be staying on stage with me for a quick photo for just a second. And after this, you'll be going into the rest of your breakout rooms for the day. I hope that you continue to enjoy the conference and have a wonderful rest of your day. And please join me in one more massive round of applause for our students.
That's it.